main event, we have to we have to have this conversation. And I'm going to be labeled the ultimate hater here. I know I am.
No, if you're going the way that I think you are, I'm right behind you.
Yeah, I'm gonna be labeled the ultimate hater here. But for everyone who's asking, what the fuck is happening? What does Goldberg have to do with anything going on? How does this help? How does it hurt? Does it help? Whatever the case may be, I'd like to. I would like to make sure everyone who's out there wondering these questions, you're not alone and you are not crazy. Because I don't know. I don't know how we got here. I don't know why this is happening. We heard the rumors for weeks that one of the reasons that they took the belt off of Jay is so that Jay didn't have to go through the whole Goldberg thing. That the dream scenario for Goldberg was Gunther. And the dream scenario for Goldberg is to do it in Atlanta. So they're going to do it. They made the announcement yesterday that it's going to be at Saturday night's main event in Atlanta. It's going to be Gunther and Goldberg for the World Heavyweight Championship. And there's a lot of people sitting here just frustrated and just pissed off and just, what the fuck? Why the fuck? Where the fuck? How the fuck? I would like, just for a second, before we get into the right now, I'd like to set the table. Because I think there's a little bit, just a little bit of revisionist history taking place right now. There's a lot of people right now that are living in a fantasy world. There is this thought process that Goldberg is this overwhelming, popular, just iconic human being that came from the Attitude Era. And there's a lot of validity to that. But the part where I feel like it's a little revisionist history, just a little bit, is because people are of the impression that when he was on his high, when he was at his highest, when he was at his peak, when he was Bill fucking Goldberg, that the world as a whole was just like, yes, he's the fucking man. And that is not true. I was alive and well and a teenager in those late 90s. As a matter of fact, to be specific, he debuted on WCW television in 87. I was 14 years old. You were the ripe old age of about 8 or 9 years old. And I was there for the Goldberg run. I was there when it started. I was there when it got hot. I was there when it fizzled out. And I got news for everybody. There wasn't one day that went by through any of that time where someone didn't say, he's kind of the shits. I don't understand the appeal. There was a lot of people who were just like, I don't get Goldberg. He was popular. There were more people that loved him that didn't. Let's just say that. But there were a lot of people that thought he was a Stone Cold ripoff. Bald head, black trunks, black boots. There were a lot of people that got upset about the fact that the guy couldn't wrestle past 2 minutes. All of his matches, 60, 120 seconds at most. Okay? A whole Goldberg match is they play the song, the camera goes to the back, he slams his head into a locker for no reason that was ever explained to us other than he's just intense. He gets followed to the gorilla position by security guards because apparently he's a menace to society. He goes through the goddamn curtain, purposely stands in the fireworks and the sparkles, inhales the smoke, I'm assuming to make the cancer worse, and then breathes it out like a dragon and then proceeds to do the most intense shadow boxing of all time. Slides into the ring. They ring the bell. His opponent gets a jump start on him that he doesn't sell. He hits a random move, some sort of suplex or some sort of kick or something, does the whole snarl at the crowd, goes into the corner, sets up a spear, plows through the motherfucker, puts one finger up in the air, jackknife, boom, 1, 2, 3, play the theme, do the pose, rinse and repeat. That's it. That's all it is. That's the whole fucking match. That's the whole presentation. That's all it ever was. And there was a
Sounds like a refined Ultimate Warrior.
Yes. If anything, they learned from the Warrior because the Warrior at least tried to wrestle.
He said, slow down.
Yes. If you could
We're
do
gonna try
nothing,
not to get gassed.
he reminds me of, you ever seen 21 Jump Street, the movie remake with Channing Tatum and Jonah
Mhm.
Hill? You ever seen
Mhm.
yeah, when they were going over the high school stuff, and he was wearing the backpack. He was like, "Are you two strapping right now?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm two strapping." He goes, "No, you got to one strap it. No strap it if you could, but you at the very least you have to one strap it." This is that. They told Warrior, "Are you two strapping right now?" So they went to go over and he's like, "One strap, bro. No strap if you could. Just but minimum."
He no strapped the
Yeah,
fuck
no,
out of that.
there was a few no straps in that motherfucker. There was a time his run is debut in '97, super hot in '98, fizzle in '99, and completely out of it by 2000. And his WWE run in 2003, which is also just 1 year, he was asked on a few occasions to carry some people, and he couldn't fucking do it. I never understood him. Now, I get the overall feeling that he was a popular dude, and there were a lot of people. They were chanting Goldberg yesterday. Goldberg, Goldberg. There's still kind of that childhood nostalgia kind of that's there. I get it.
Well, it's part of the gimmick. It's the fun part of the gimmick.
Right. So I say all that not to say that he's not a legend, not to say that he's someone that we shouldn't respect. What I'm saying is he a big enough nostalgia act or a big enough star for us to literally upheaval the whole overall scheme of things to just focus on just something that he wanted to do?
This is something they need to get away from, and I feel like they've done a pretty good job.
Mm-hmm.
But they really need to stop doing this shit. Like, it's just it. If it is true that they took the belt from Jay in the way that they did on a Monday to capture the moment that happened, how many months ago? 6? How long ago was that encounter that he had? That was hilarious, by the way, with Goldberg when he was sitting out. Like, I feel like that's what we're trying to capitalize on, and it's just fucking weird. I don't see the reason why we ended Jay's run in the same manner that he started the run, to what I'm going to assume is gain some credibility back so that it can be used in an angle for them to have a moment with a legend. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Your card is too loaded. Your talent is too good. You have too many people that can use a match or could do a match where you don't like. There's no benefit to Goldberg being here.
No.
But I'm an advocate for legends not being around. Period. I've always fucking said that. I've always cringed when Hulk Hogan comes out, even in the Rumble. I'll let it slide in the Rumble, but even then, I feel like what they did last Rumble with taking some of the younger talent who and kind of testing their over by making them a surprise in the Royal Rumble does way more than bringing out a legend. So I just feel like they have way too much talent to be wasting energy in this. That I fucking hate legends. I hate them.
I hate legends. I don't think you hate legends so much as you hate when they start overstepping what's happening right now.
Just go to the announce table, then that's fine. But like, there was something really nasty about Io Sky telling I forget her name, the Bella twin, that you paved the way for us.
Right.
There are a lot of different. See, and this is why I hate the fact that I'm being painted like I have Io hate. There is a lot of motherfuckers in that back who could have said that to her and it would have felt good. Io's not that person.
No, that didn't fit.
Io is not the one that, like, hasn't she been doing it longer than her?
No, not longer than Nikki. Nikki started before her. You know who I think actually would have fit better in that situation? Chelsea. Because at least Chelsea has stated
that would have been good.
That the Bellas were an inspiration for her. Right. Io Sky.
But, okay, so even if I'm wrong that Nikki has technically been doing it longer, Io has done far better. Yes, like, they're not even on the same
No, they're not
They're
on the
not even
same
on the same
planet.
playing field.
No.
So for her to have said, I just remember that moment specifically. She's like, "You paved the way for us, thank you." And I'm like, "No, without Nikki, that does not mean there's no EO. I don't see that. Chelsea maybe, but EO no, that no. So like
No.
just those little things like that. Like I don't know, the hat tilt, the whatever. It's just it's unnecessary, and I don't even think it's fun in the moment. Like for instance, this example right here, when this match happens and my wife's watching it with me, she's gonna lose her shit because it's her favorite person. Like Goldberg, she just loves all. She thinks it's hilarious. She used to do that shit to me. All it used to drive me nuts. I'd be in the living room and I hear Goldberg, and I knew she was just about to play too much. She's about to fucking try to tackle me and be fucking weird.
Don't
like,
watch Raw right now after this. Too loud.
She loves Goldberg. Like she just loves the whole gimmick. So
Yeah.
from her perspective, this is gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
But like from someone who watches wrestling constantly, like I just feel like it's a waste.
This is going to be awesome for a few million people who still.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's going to work.
Yeah, it's going to work. That's not the conversation that I'm trying to have. Does it hurt more than it helps? Because once so we get to Saturday night's main event. We have the event in Atlanta. It's the hometown crowd. He gets in there with arguably one of the best wrestlers on planet Earth, who's going to protect him at every chance that he gets, right? What kind of match are we having? Is it another 3 or 4 minute little thingamabob? They're not going to go more than 20 minutes either. And even if you do, he's not going to win the heavyweight title. God for fucking bid, right? So then what happens at that point? Okay, we get to Atlanta. Gunther beats him. He goes home happy and content with his career. And then what happens to the rest of us?
Meanwhile, Jey Uso gets a King of the Ring cancellation prize.
Essentially, yes. Now we have to put Jey in this position to win King of the Ring to get back to where we were when we could have used the King of the Ring for something else. You already sacrificed Money in the Bank for the sake of a storyline. Now you're sacrificing King of the Ring for the sake of a storyline. There's the Money in the Bank holder doesn't need Money in the Bank, and the person who might possibly will win the King of the Ring at this point, which, by the way, as an update, Sami Zayn and Randy Orton are going to compete on Friday for their semifinal, and now Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso will compete on Monday for their final spot. So the most predictable...
The match, by the way, we did not want to see.
Yeah, that was the one that we specifically said, too easy, too cheap, let's do something different, and that's exactly what they fucking did. And now that we know that Gunther and Goldberg are going to go to Atlanta for the title, that we ought to... By anything short of a fucking... If Triple H has a fucking stroke... and then they have to ship him to the hospital, and mid-medication, he signs off on Goldberg winning a championship. That's the only way I'm going to accept that. There's no fucking reason for him to leave Atlanta in a retirement match as the champion. If Paul Heyman was booking WWE, it's a possibility. But if anybody with the right fucking frame of mind is in control, that won't happen. So we're essentially back to where we started a few weeks ago. To answer your point, by the way, that first confrontation between Goldberg and Gunther was in October, 8 months ago.
8 months ago. So I told you it was a minute.
Yeah.
My memory ain't good, but it's okay.
No, but that's yesterday on the show, and you'll see it. They used that confrontation to bridge to this, which, again, where the fuck have you been for 8 months if you've been this fucking steamed about it? I don't understand. You don't have to.
And to be honest with you, that if we just never feuded Jey, because we wanted to give Jey the WrestleMania moment,
right?
If this was your plan, you just did it a year too soon. Jay's not going to lose steam. I don't think so. In that case, if he doesn't win the belt, if he doesn't win the Rumble, if he's still doing what Jey does, we get here without that. Gunther's still having his run. Now we're having an altercation between these two. Jey goes off and wins King of the Ring, which just adds more to his shit. Then we do the feud with Gunther going into the next Mania, and now he has his moment. Or the next Rumble, he wins it. We have his moment. Like, we didn't need to do that, rip it away, and now do King of the Ring. Like, I feel like we're going backwards. And the only thing that makes sense to me, because I feel like I have so much confidence in Triple H making these calls, that Either he's back paying things that are owed to people before he got the reign, or this is making more money than we understand it to, and that's why he's doing a business decision. Those are my only two outs for him. I just can't see a world where he's like, oh, Goldberg, phone call. Oh, hey, can I get on? Yeah, I'll move some things around. And then I just don't see that happening. I don't know. I don't want to believe it.
Well, not for nothing though, but he's based on everything you just said. I'm leaning more towards he's making a business decision, but I feel like he's making a business decision that's going to hurt the creative, which is the one thing that he has. That's his playing card. Is his creative process. That's the one thing that he does that everyone goes, you know what? It was the right call. You know what I'm saying? That was the right call. That Triple H was the perfect person to run this company. He gets it. He knows what he's doing. It's the creative. It's this, is that, and the fourth. But now we're seeing evidence that he's being torn between two worlds. TKO wants to make money. He wants to create stories that will generate money. And I just feel like he's kind of in the middle. There's a lot of shows going on. And for the record, can I just really quickly just slide in here about the whole Jey Uso title reign, right? Just really quickly, because there were a lot of people who were upset over the idea that Jey Uso got beat, and that he got beat essentially the way that he did, which was with 51 days, I believe, was the record that he had as the world heavyweight champion. And people were like, 51 days, that's crazy, because this, and this. 51 days is nothing. They're burying him and all that stuff. I would like to put things into perspective when it comes to that, the 51 days. I wouldn't stress about the 51 days. I wouldn't stress about that. For those of you out there who are new to the game, that's nothing in compared to a lot of title reigns that have happened in the past. As an example, I'll give you guys an example because I just wrote this down because I got curious myself. The first time ever that Stone Cold Steve Austin, arguably one of the greatest of all time, when he won his first championship from Shawn Michaels, he won it in April. He lost it he lost his first title reign in June. That was about 90 days, close to it, right? Still not 50, but that's fine because he would go on to win the belt again a second time. And you know how long he had it the second time? 52 days. Mick Foley makes the joke all the time that he's had 3 WWE title reigns, and I think they were all together combined a total of 44 days. Kane's first WWE Championship win lasted 1 day. He won it at the King of the Ring. He lost it the next night on Raw. So these things have a way of fixing themselves. All of those names that I just mentioned to you all went on to become multiple-time world champions with multiple long reigns as champion. So it's not, you don't have to really get all that upset. People are so used to the year-round run as champion that they just assume 51 days is garbage. That's not true at all. I got it right here in front of me. Rob Van Dam only had 1 championship title run. 1. He won it June in ECW One Night Stand number 2 in June of 2006, June 11th, 2006. He lost it July 3rd, 2006. He had it for 20-something days. That's the only time he was WWE champion. I'm pretty sure we still consider him to be a legend. So don't worry about the numbers. I know you guys see 3,000 from Roman and 400 from Punk and 200 of this person and 100 of that. Don't get all worked up by that. They all add up over time. That's not the creative I'm talking about. Inserting Goldberg into a situation where we really need to get ready for the future. Because a lot of these guys are older now. Remember, we were just having that conversation. Roman is one of the older guys now. Seth's one of the older guys now. Tim's is the old heads now. So, and Goldberg is an old head too. But we didn't need this. We didn't need to go to this point. We didn't need a situation where Goldberg was just going to be figured in. So, just putting that out there for prosperity. I'm sure it's going to do gangbuster numbers, and then once he's finally off the ranch and reservation and he can go home happy, we'll see what happens next. We'll see who, though. By the way, Dave, there's a... You still there, Dave?
Yeah, why are you questioning?
Because the Goldberg thing, for Goldberg, right, he wanted to have a farewell match, right? That was his whole deal? He wants to have a farewell match?
Is that what the deal? I don't know that.
Yeah,
Is that the
that's
deal?
That's what we're hearing. Is that he?
Why do we have to have a belt involved?
I don't know, but that was his whole deal. Is that he wanted to have one last farewell match, and I'm sitting here questioning whether or not that's something we should even be doing for him. Wasn't he on the other team? He was on the other team. He was making money for WCW, right? That's who the team he played for. Mm-hmm. We're sitting here going, we don't like when legends do that. We don't like when legends do that. We don't want him to come in here and do that because it doesn't fit him. You know what we're doing on the other channel? Right now on the channel, like the AEW, but like literally like instead of Raw, which is where they are, you know what we're doing on SmackDown? We're giving a legend a farewell run. He didn't get a day. He got a year. And everyone's here for it. You know why? Because he was here. He's our guy.
That's a different legend.
I know. That's what I'm saying. And one that hopefully keeps to his word.
I'm glad you're going where you're going. Yeah. I believe he's fucking done after this.
Yes.
See, before, back in the day, like Hogan and stuff and Flair's, like these motherfuckers wouldn't go away.
Yeah.
Like they just, make an appearance and they would just keep coming back. This dude was not here. Then he came in and said, hey, I'm going to do a farewell tour. Then disappeared. And is now doing his run. And I have all the confidence in the world that the moment he is done, you will not see him at all.
I don't know about not see. That's going to be tough. Never in the ring again, I believe that. No appearance at all whatsoever for WWE.
It won't be for a while.
Oh, no, definitely. But, I don't think business-wise that's a smart idea for either side. At least not for appearance purposes, like the Make-A-Wishes or maybe like some sort of
it depends on how they end this.
Yeah, especially if he just put the heel turn. I don't expect that.
Yeah, it depends on how he ends this, and I hope he goes all the way with it, but whatever, we'll see.
We will see indeed. So let's let WWE do exactly what it is that they're going to fucking do. But I want to see how it plays out.